Hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be putting some new brake rotors and brake pads on the 95 Mitsubishi Evolution 3, so stay tuned. Before we dive into that, the previous video I said I was going to pull the 3000 GT out in the sunlight so we can take a closer look at everything, and it is the next day and it is looking good. Better than I expected in the sunlight. There's still some faint swirls, but not anywhere compared to what it was beforehand. And that's if you get up like real close to it. When you stand back just a few feet, you can barely even notice. And I went ahead and put some tire shine on the wheels. It's looking good. Let's check out the spoiler. And it's just another beautiful day here in Georgia, so I figured why not, let's go ahead and get around to the brake rotors that I actually got them in the mail maybe 3 weeks ago, and I've just been kind of staring at them, feeling a little lazy, but got a floor jack now. I don't know what happened to my floor jack when I moved, and now we should be good to go. So the plan, get the Evo lifted up. We're gonna first actually break the wheels free, get the Evo up, pull the wheels off, and then we'll go from there and get everything out the way that we need to and get the new brake rotors on. And these are slotted and drilled rear brake rotors from a Volvo S40, I believe. So shout out to Evo 123 Owners Club and all the super smart people and frontiers or pioneers, if you will, for this car that kind of took a leap of faith and did a little research on their own to figure out that there are some good options out there, because obviously Evo 3 parts were not available for sale in America. So we're gonna give these a shot, fingers crossed, hopefully it works. And then I got some brake pads, nothing too crazy. I really just wanted to kind of see if I can go to the local hardware store and, the local automotive store and pick up some items that would be compatible for the car. And as you can see, the brake rotors on here are looking way overdue. And the brake pads, I mean, they're not squeaking or anything, but I figured if I'm in here doing the rotors, I might as well go ahead and throw some new pads on there until we figure out a better option for the Evo. This is kind of a short-term fix. It wasn't too expensive. They're gonna look better and hopefully perform a little bit better, because these things are toasted, both sides. The fronts aren't nearly as bad, but the back rear rotors, and I've known this since I actually purchased the car. That was one of the things I negotiated the price on the car. I was like, okay, well, it's definitely gonna need some rotors, and I've had the car now for what, maybe 8 months, 7-8 months, and it should have been the first thing I did, but you guys know how it goes. A few performance mods, some paint, this and that, but now I'm finally getting around to it. I got a garage, easier to work on. I'm not out in the heat and the elements, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna set the camera down, we're gonna get to it. So I went ahead and broke the lug nuts free while the tire was still making contact with the ground. Anytime you have ball on wheels like the Inky PF01s that I have that are in fabulous shape on this car, totally kidding about that. I do recommend some wheel locks. So we got the wheel lock bolt here. Come on, there we go. Last thing you want to do is take your beloved JDM sports car out on a dinner date with your girlfriend, and you get back and your car is on blocks. No bueno. Put those off to the side. And we'll go ahead and pull this wheel off. Now, a lot of you mentioned in the wheel cleaning video I did to clean the inside of the barrel. So I might actually go ahead and spray this down with some of that Chemical Guys Diablo wheel cleaner that I have while I'm here. And bonus for you guys, I also have these, I think they're 5mm wheel spacers that I picked up from Up Garage in Japan way back in the day, and I completely forgot about them. I'm gonna throw these on here, and it should give me that really good wheel fitment that you see on all the cars in Japan. I think it'll be really flush. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan for today. But look how bad this looks. Literally, it's flaking off in here. These things definitely need to get sent off and powder coated. There is a shop out here locally that does it. I think they charge, $700. You drop the car off, they'll pull the wheels off, take the tires off, sandblast and powder coat them, do whatever they do, remount the tires, balance them, put them back on. $700 out the door. I think it's a pretty good price. I might end up going that route. But now that I have the 3000 GT, I might just take the wheels off altogether, leave the car on jack stands, take the calipers off, redo these, and then send them off and get them powder coated as well. I was thinking black or maybe red. And then the coilovers, that's another thing. I'll get the camera here in a second, we'll take a closer look, but these things are looking old. So I've been eyeing some different coilover options out there. Fortunato is kind of looking like the way to go, maybe BC. I know there's a few different options, but more to come on that. Yeah, look how bad that rotor looks. Pretty grimy up in here as well. I'm actually kind of frustrated because the negotiation I made with the paint shop in Okinawa, I didn't even think about it at the time when I picked the car up, but we negotiated ahead of time to do the underbody and have them paint everything here black. And obviously they did it, and I was on such a time crunch to get out of there. By the time I realized it, I was like, you know what, not even worth it. I got a pretty good price on the paint job, so I'll probably get that done here as well in the States, but definitely want to get this freshened up. A little bit of surface rust, nothing you can really do about that. I was stationed in Okinawa and salt water was everywhere, but the rust isn't as bad as some of the cars you would see out there. It's not an Oki car. It was in mainland until August of 2019, so maybe 10 months in Okinawa, and I try to wash it the best I could. Actually, this is the first time I've had the car with the wheels off, or at least this wheel off. And what is going on back here? Somebody was definitely doing some off-roading with this car. Look at all this. What the heck? What in the world? All these like little rocks and gravel. But now to get the caliper removed, I believe it is, we've got one bolt back here, one bolt back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tools out and we'll get this bad boy removed. Went ahead and grab a little wire brush. I feel like a freaking paleontologist over here digging for fossils. Look at this. That was a lot of dirt and debris that was in there. It's like a little trap right here. And I'd also like to take the time real quick to point out that my Craftsman 3/8 socket wrench that I purchased, I don't know, a month ago, is already broken. It won't rotate and it is stuck. Come on, good thing it has a lifetime warranty, but this thing is jacked up. Like, I don't understand, Craftsman. I thought you're better than that. Well, that's frustrating. Well, good thing I have a 1/2 inch, and I think I have another 3/8 somewhere. Still, brand new tool, POS. I don't know if I'll be buying any more Craftsman tools. All right, guys, big update for you. I'm actually losing a lot of daylight. I had to run some errands. So, big shout out to Sean Leese on the Evo 123 Owners Club Facebook page. I had a few snags and he was able to kind of like walk me through it. So on the caliper bracket here, you've got, it's really just the two 14mm bolts. I didn't actually separate the caliper itself, so you don't even have to mess with the 12mm here. And then the top, there's a little cap that goes on there that pops off, and I was able to get the caliper off. We got the rotor on here. I had to hit the old rotor a little bit with a hammer, and then I also have the 5mm spacer on here right now. But I ended up having to reuse the brake pads. I ran to the auto store and got a C-clamp, and I tried compressing the caliper and it would not budge. So I think I might either have to get the actual like caliper compression specialty tool, but I was just trying everything and I just couldn't really get it to compress. And the old rotor, the surface was actually pretty beat up, so I'm thinking that it might be time to either get some new calipers or rebuild these. So another project to add on the to-do list. So I'm actually gonna put the wheel back on, flip the car around, and start working on the other side. Hopefully the caliper is a little bit better, but now I got the process down, I'll probably get through it a lot quicker. But overall, pretty pleased with the way the rotor looks, and the Volvo the Volvo rotor is a perfect fit. It went on there really well, and I'm just excited to see what the wheel looks like with the spacer on there. But I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward, get this area cleaned up, get the car back down, flip it around and get it back up, and then I'll do more of a thorough walkthrough, because now I know exactly what is required to get the brake pads replaced and get the new rotor on there. All right, guys, we got the Evo backed in now, and I went ahead and removed the wheel, and this is where we're at. So the last one I kind of just went to it without filming a whole lot. First things first, I want to check. Look at that. Another rock. You gotta be kidding me. Not as bad as the other side, but we'll leave that for right now. And then a random hanger sitting here. I think that's from the OEM exhaust. I can't remember. I'm the one who put the exhaust on here. Anyways, here is the rotor for the passenger, or the back left side, if you will. And the caliper's not looking as bad, so hopefully we can get the brake pads in here, and I'll probably end up just hitting the other side one of these days. But I know we need a 14 millimeter for the one bolt here, and then one back here. We're not gonna even mess with the one here or the one up here, and then we can remove the caliper and then get the brake pads out of here, try to put the new ones on, hammer the crap out of the rotor, break it free, put the new one on, brake pads, put it all back together. It should be that easy. And now it's daytime again. Got a little sidetracked yesterday and decided just to wait till the next day to finish this little project up. So here we are. Don't know where I picked up off. I don't know where I left off at, but I managed to break the 2 bolts on here. So now it's just a matter of working this caliper off. All right. Caliper is up, out of the way. The rotor's on here pretty good. So hopefully this WD-40 give me a little hand. And now I'm just gonna hit it with a hammer and see if I can break it free. Few good whacks. And there is the old rotor in all of its glory. I'm gonna grab the brake cleaner, spray this down a little bit. Go ahead and get the old brake pad out. Check this out. Ooh. This one was pretty much done. So good thing I'm getting around to it. Got to get new pads on here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this one. Look how nasty this one looks. Yeah, I'm just really hoping we can compress the piston here, so then we can get the new pads on there. That's the only thing I'm worried about. If I can't get this piston compressed, then we're gonna have issues, which means I'm gonna be on a time crunch to get either new calipers or get this one rebuilt. Because if I put that old pad in there, I don't know how much more driving, or braking for that matter, I'll have on this caliper and this set of brake pads. Good times owning a 25-year-old car. A lot of you guys always ask me, hey, I'm looking to get, you know, this Supra, this Skyline, this Evo, yada, yada, yada. Always asking me about it. This is a perfect example of what I always tell you guys. Yes, you can find a car for X amount of dollars, but you also have to take into account the money that will have to go into the car to keep it maintained, and things just go bad on cars. There's no perfect car out there. Yeah, you might be able to find like a car with 1,000 miles on it that's just been sitting in a barn, but then you're going to pay a premium, and you're paying the premium, so you don't have to do stuff like this. But it's also the fun of owning a car like this. However, on an Evo 3 or 123 specifically, they were only sold in Japan, and there was only like, I don't know, 5,000 each that were ever manufactured. I think a little bit more on the Evo 3. So there was not a lot of aftermarket support out there, and parts are pretty hard to come by. You can get OEM Evo 3 parts, but then you're paying the Evo tax and shipping from Japan and all that good stuff. So just trying to find a solution here in America if there's something I can get locally. If there's anything else out there that you guys know of, definitely let me know. I'm gonna keep working on this piston, see if I can try to muscle it anymore, but I really don't think I can. Worst case, I'll just get the old brake pads in there, get the rotor on, get everything buttoned back up, and then go from there. Granted, I do have the 3000 GT now, so I'm not gonna have to daily drive the car as much, which means I won't have to really worry about the brakes until I do find a solution. But I do want to get the Evo up and running, and I wanted to get the front brakes done as well. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna keep working on this. We'll pick back up. So it is what it is. I was not able to get the new brake pads in there. Such a bummer. None of the brake pads, left or right side. And coming to a conclusion, definitely gonna have to rebuild these, or try to find some new calipers, or maybe do an upgrade kit. I don't know, but One thing I do know, this brake pad right here is on its way out, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of driving on the Evo until I can get the brakes squared away. And I want to do all four. Kind of a bummer because I spent all this time. At least now I got a little bit familiar with the rear brake setup on the Evo 3. So now next time it'll be a lot quicker, a lot more streamlined. I was able to get this one off in half the time, maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. But on a positive note, I did get the new rotor in and I got the spacer on. Now I'm gonna put the wheel on and that should be it. I'm gonna call it a day and go online, see what I can find. But if you guys have any info, any feedback, any tips, pointers, all that good stuff, I'm open ears. Just like anything else I'm doing on this car. I'm not the guru and I enjoy learning. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. A few lessons learned today. A, Volvo brake rotors actually do work on an Evo 3, so that's a plus. B, Craftsman tools are junk and I don't recommend them to anybody because I'm not even kidding. That 3/8 socket wrench I bought not even a month ago and it already crapped out on me and I haven't even used it a whole bunch. So Craftsman, get your stuff together. And then C, working on old cars is such a blast. I don't know if you can tell I'm being sarcastic or not, but go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more car content. I have a lot more stuff to come and even more things on the list now with the Evo, as you guys can see. So stay tuned and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.